What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be my response to a few questions that I got in my live Q&A that I didn't get a chance to answer before I got offline. Unfortunately, YouTube only saved the last 15 minutes of chats from my video. So, I don't know. I had dozens of questions that I probably won't get to and I'll probably never be able to recover. So, for whatever reason, if you did not get your question answered in a video and your question isn't addressed here, which is probably most likely all of you because I only have about 5 that saved from the last 15 minutes, put your question here in the comments section and I'll do another video and try to make it up to you guys. Oh, and just in case you're wondering, I'm sitting in my 11-month-old's bedroom. It's kind of hard to find a quiet space during the day in this house. But that's another story. Let's get into these questions. Okay, so somebody asked in my live Q&A, do you believe once a cheater, always a cheater? No, not really. And it depends on circumstance. People cheat for a lot of different reasons. Some people might argue there's never a good reason to cheat. And that's true. There's never a good reason to live a dishonest life. But there's always a motivation to cheat. And some people have very good motivation to cheat. And while it's not a good reason to cheat, the motivation can be stronger in certain situations than others. I've known men who cheated on women until they fell in love with them and then stopped completely. I've known men who cheated on women who treated them badly, but stopped when they found a woman that they could really trust. There are a lot of gray areas in life, just in general. Like if a guy cheats on you, will he come back and cheat on you again? In most cases, I think yeah. So the question would be better phrased. If a guy cheats on you, will he cheat on you again? And usually the answer is yes, unfortunately. But if a guy has cheated on some other woman before, and then years down the line he gets with you, no, it doesn't mean he's going to cheat on every woman. Some guys only cheat on certain women. Is once a cheater always a cheater? Not necessarily. Moving along, the second question I have here tonight is, Kev, I recently finished my 3rd degree and a close male friend of mine recently made the comment that I was too independent and didn't need a man. Are men threatened by education? To answer your question, not necessarily. A lot of boys are threatened by education. A lot of boys are threatened by success. A lot of real men, and I know we throw that man word around pretty loosely. We give a lot of guys credit for man, when they should be more accurately identified as boys. But women want to feel wanted. Men want to feel needed. And as long as a man feels like you need him, he's going to be secure. And he doesn't have to feel like you need him financially. You could need him emotionally. You could need him physically. You could need him spiritually. You could need him intellectually. You don't have to need him financially. He just wants to be needed. So just keep that in mind, independent woman. Someone else in the comments said, I've gotten to the point to where I'm completely straightforward with guys and it throws them off because I really hate games. What should I do? I think that you should continue to be honest. The only thing that I would caution you against, though, is being too forward. Sometimes in an attempt to be forward with someone, you kind of jump the gun. So, while the emotions are building and the feelings are building, you just skip all the dumb shit and be like, I like you. It's kind of robotic energy that tends to throw guys off. You still have to let things happen in their natural time. A lot of times people who are being forward jump the gun on a lot of things, right? They jump the gun on revealing themselves to a person. They jump the gun on professing their feelings or their love for a person. You still have to let things evolve naturally. So yes, continue to be forward, but just be more selective about the things that you're being forward with. There's a sweet spot where forward meets timing, and that's where you want to be. Don't get ahead of yourself trying to be forward. Sometimes it can come off as being impatient or desperate. So you don't want to give those vibes, but you do want to be honest about your intents. You do want to reveal the things that are pertinent to the relationship in that moment. A lot of times, people who are trying to be forward, bring up subject matters a little too heavy, a little too soon. Because yes, you can scare a guy off. You can kind of throw a guy off, kind of jumping the gun with your honesty. So just make sure that it's appropriate for the conversation and the age of your relationship before you decide to reveal something, um, or make a proclamation about what you want from a relationship. Another question was, why do I seem to only attract unavailable guys? Or I presume guys in relationships. That's probably not all you attract. It's all you entertain. Women always say this stuff. They say, well, I only attract assholes, or I only attract married men, or I only attract cheaters. And it's not true. An attractive woman attracts most men. And her selection of men, it tends to be the same. It tends to, there's a type, there's a certain energy she gravitates toward, and then she says, well, I only attract these type of guys, and it's really all she's attracted to. It's the energy she's attracted to. It's the energy she's responding to. There are a lot of single guys, I presume, that like you, but you're not interested in that energy. You're not interested in the energy of desperation, or of loneliness. There's a certain aura around single nice guys, or there's a certain aura around single available guys. Um, and a lot of times women aren't attracted to that. They want a little bit of mystery, and married men are mysterious because they can't tell you who their wife is, or where they live. So I doubt that it's all you attract, but it's definitely all you're entertaining, and that's why you keep getting the same results. So you have to figure out what you're doing to cause that. Moving on. Another question I got was, Kev, have you always been this calm, or does it take practice? I've always been this calm. However calm I come off, I guess. Um, I was just a different type of kid. I was a really quiet kid. I was extremely observant. For many years, I didn't talk a lot. And it wasn't because I didn't have anything to say. It just was because I almost felt alone in thinking some of the thoughts that I was having as a kid. Some of my thoughts didn't fit in with the usual playground conversation. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm kind of a big picture thinker, so I'm always in my own head. And when you're always in your own head, and when you live in your head, you're normally a very calm person. It's a lot of shit that needs to be thought about, and I'm going to think it all. So, yeah, I've always been this calm. Um, it's just kind of my thing. And moving on, last but not least, the last question I got that I will be able to answer today that didn't get erased from YouTube is, why do the wrong people get treated right and the right people get treated wrong? The funny thing about shitty people is, most of the time, they're selfish and they demand a lot from others. For whatever reason, they set their standards for others much higher than they set the standards for themselves. So as it pertains to your question, why do the wrong people get treated right and the right people get treated wrong? The wrong people won't allow people to treat them as they deserve to be treated. Usually they're selfish and they hold people to high standards. The right people have to learn how to stick to their standards. The right people have to learn how to hold people to account for their actions. And that's the difference between the wrong people and the right people. Selfish people make sure they get everything that's owed to them. Nice people let people off easy. They make excuses for people. They take shit from people. They give people multiple chances. They're unlikely to hold someone's foot to the fire when they fucked up. They're compassionate. They're sweet. They're understanding. They're caring. They're long-suffering. They are all the things that make up a perfect victim. Not to say that the qualities of the right people are bad, but they should be afforded to people in moderation. When someone realizes that you won't hold them to account or that you will make concessions for their behavior, they'll always treat you how you allow them to treat you. People give you whatever you put up with. So if you're a right person or a nice person or a good person or however you might define yourself, you're being treated badly on a regular basis, consistently, situation after situation, person after person, it's because you don't keep your standards. Selfish person, or the wrong person as you worded it, they would never take shit from someone. They're trying to be on the receiving end of all the good that someone else has to offer, even if they don't deserve it. They love themselves enough to at least make sure they're winning. I guess in that there's a lesson for all good people, um, which is to be more like bad people, just a little bit. Anyway, that's all I got. If you didn't get your question answered, write your question in the comment section below, and I'll do another Ask Kev Q&A response to the comment section. I'll get with y'all later. Oh yeah, follow me on Instagram, KevHick24, blah blah blah, all of that shit. I gotta go.